Welcome, my friends, to another exciting episode of Eddie's World. It's where we strive to bring you the best in local talent. Yes, my guests tonight are Mary Lyle Smith and Stephen Cathcart. This couple is awesome, and you will see that shortly. Okay, on this date in musical history, August 17th, 1955, Elvis Presley released what would become his first #1 hit, I Forgot to Remember to Forget / Mystery Train on the B-side. It hit the top country chart several months later and stayed there for 5 weeks at #1. Way to go, Elvis. Good. Can you believe it's been 61 years since he did that? Man. Whew. All right, coming this Saturday, it's finally here. Cruising for a Cause. That's the 3rd annual Burton Center Boat Run. And it'll be from 10:30 to about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Great auction, great prizes. Need to come check it out. It's really great. And for our wonderful cause. The musical guest will be the Doobie Brothers. Not the Doobie Brothers, excuse me. Doobie's Brothers. Miss Rhonda McDaniel, and yours truly and the lovely ladies, 3rd Avenue. We will be there, so please come out. It's going to be a great time. And also Sunday, it's going to be the 1st annual Naked Rain Dance right here live at the lake at my house, or as I like to call it, Dangling for a Drop. Come, let it all hang out. For a good cause, bring your own bottle. Okay. Oh my, let's see. Well, let's just get on with our special guest. Here they are. Peace out.
My name is Stephen Cathcart. I'm 25, and at this point, I don't really claim Myrtle Beach anymore. I spent a lot of time there as a child, but I guess I'm just pure Greenwood. From Abbeville, I guess originally. Lived out in Country Meadows for a couple of years. Parents split and moved to the big city of Greenwood, and I've been here ever since.
All right. How about you?
I am Mary Lyle Smith. I'm also 25, and I have lived here my whole life. I really haven't left, moved from a 10-mile radius in the city, really, except to go to school and my first real big girl job in Greenville. But pretty much been here my whole life. So.
Okay. And you work where now?
I work at the hospital at Self Regional Healthcare in the marketing department with other local musician, Mark Hyatt. He is my boss.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Connections, yeah, he is.
He's
Snake
gonna
wrangler,
he's gonna do
musician.
Yes, it's a lot sweeter gig when your boss is Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a fun time.
And what do? You work at?
I work at Fuji, and
Fuji.
yeah, very ran out of options quick. Gotta do what you gotta do to get what you want, and I don't think I'd work there if I didn't have such a. I used to have a really big problem with buying guitars. Really big problem. Buddy Sam used to always get on me. I'd have a new one every month, and I really got that job so I could get more. And I have less guitars now than I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
This house.
Yeah.
No house though. Think of all this.
It's a pretty good swap out, though. You have a place to live.
I had some really great guitars, like some showstoppers, and now they just
Oh, I know. I do too. And
down to the workhorses now.
when I was a full-time musician and I was 25, and I would buy guitars and then I'd turn around and had to sell them to pay the rent.
I know that is the worst
I hated it
feeling.
because it was always those really good deals on those great guitars, and then you had to turn around and sell it.
This 2 months though, it's like have a guitar for 2 months. I won't play a show with it. It'll be great, and then something comes up. Yeah,
So when did you get started in music?
I started playing drums for my father when I was really young.
So your father played?
He plays guitar, yeah, and he had a bunch of equipment, and I guess it was the 90s, and it was a very materialistic time. We had amps and drums and all kind of stuff everywhere, and it was a blast. I could go outside. I had a building out in the back, about as big as this house is. It's just like a big garage, and just had amps, guitars, drum sets, everything you wanted.
Oh, that's
It was the best, and that was like me growing up. And Mike Cooper, a guy who hangs around town, he played drums out there a lot with my dad and a couple other guys. Brian, oh man, I'm forgetting Brian's last name. Is it
Oh no,
Garrett or
he's gonna be so mad at you.
Garner? Oh man, sorry. Brian knows who he is. He plays with EDDY'S. It was
it's Brian. This guy, I believe
Yeah.
it's Garrett.
Brian.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was in my first band ever. I was, I think, 7 years old, and it was him, a couple guys my dad worked with, my dad, and a girl named Katie Ursery from Lander. I was just a child, and they didn't have everybody wanted to play guitar. I think, if I remember correctly, there were like 5 guitar players in that band, and nobody wanted to play bass, so I ended up playing bass, and that was my run. I think I played drums a couple times too, but that was just how it got started, and I guess I switched over to doing guitar pretty seriously around 13, 14, but yeah. I was going to be a Tyler McCutcheon, Will Thompson type for a long time.
Play drums.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I have been involved in some kind of singing since I was little. I grew up doing a lot of community theater. My mom was a drama teacher at Greenwood High for almost 20 years, and she was really active in the theater, so I did a lot of that. And then when I got to high school, I got a lot more focused on like classical training. Gina Jolly, shout out to Gina Jolly at Greenwood High.
Hey,
She
Gina.
was my course teacher, and she really pretty much got me involved with, taking it more seriously and trained me up to be a top-notch first soprano. And I was doing a lot of high note stuff and SATB choir, all state every year that I could in high school, and that's kind of where I started taking it really seriously. And then I think in high school, I think my taste in music kind of branched out, and I think I knew I wanted to sing more like folk, Americana, country rock music, more like what my dad grew up listening to, which is what I grew up listening to subsequently. So it kind of just like evolved from the early love when I was probably like 13, 14, when I really started taking it seriously. So I've just been pretty much doing it ever since.
We had it pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had a lot of that training then.
Yes, and it was more like the classical style again, so it was very like, vertical mouth, open up,
Do you have to do
vibrato.
The vocal
The
exercises.
warm-ups, everything. Oh yeah, there were so many tips and tricks for don't drink soda while you're training, drink Coke before you go on stage. It was crazy. There's
Oh,
all
really?
kinds of
Coke.
Well, she might disagree with that now, but we did have a teacher that said
Big gassy.
you got a big solo or something, drink some Coke and keeps your throat on point. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do remember don't drink it until like right before you're about to go on
Well,
stage.
see, we always had,
Cold
back
beer.
being on the road,
Cold
you
beer.
they said, oh, you drink hot tea and lemon,
Yep.
and it loosens you up and all that. And I was just like, I can't do that. It always
like the
drive me.
taste.
Yeah.
Hot tea would dry me out.
It's
So,
like a sticky feeling, but it doesn't work well for me.
yeah. And, basically before I play, I just will warm up and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're driving to the club
Yeah.
or whatever, my wife's going,
Found something
"Hey,
to wear
what
you
are you
up."
doing? I said, honey, hell.
These days, I wish I could hit those high notes still. I can't do them anymore, but
Oh,
they were
Lord.
insane back then.
Yeah,
It was
I
fun.
tell you, I wish I'd never picked up smoking because that's really, I used to really sing high stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was doing, back in the 70s and 80s, and
Steve
that's
Tyler type
when
stuff.
all
Yeah.
the, and I used to be able to just hit notes, and now I can't even think about it.
There's a record I did like 4 years ago that I can't hit half the stuff
Yeah.
on anymore.
That's
It's
what
just-
memories are for, guys.
I think a lot of it is just exercising that muscle like in the last few
Yeah,
years.
definitely don't do exercise
I haven't had a
anymore.
reason to hit, I don't know, like a high C sharp or anything in a
Yeah.
long time. So I just don't.
I wish I would have kept up with more theory like I did in high school. I think probably Gina Jolly wishes I would have done that too, but it would have definitely probably kept me more on track with the vocal stuff. But
That's fine.
How did you guys meet?
a long
Don't
time
remember.
ago.
She knows it on the.
Yeah, he doesn't remember. I remember the day and what he was wearing, but
Great long term.
that's kind of a girl.
That's
Probably.
Great long term memory. Pretty short term memory is piss. It's horrible.
Yeah, well, we were in like 8th grade, and I was on the cheerleading team at Northside, the old Northside.
It wouldn't be 7th grade.
No, it would have been 8th. I wasn't on cheerleading 7th grade. I was on dance
was I.
team. But so it was after school. It was like on a game day because I had my cheerleading uniform on. And basically, Steven back in the day was very intimidating, and he's like always been this tall. So we were like 5'4", and Steven was still like 6'2", and he was like nice, like he wasn't like a scary guy. So my friends were like, "Oh, like that must be Steven, blah blah blah," and they're like, "I'd be afraid to talk to him. I'd be afraid that he would be like mean or whatever," because he always wore like Tool and System of a Down shirts and stuff. And I was like, I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like 2000 what?
2004.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago, but I remember being like, I'm not scared. I'll go talk to him.
Yeah.
And I went up and talked to him, and all I said was, I remember being like, looking up and being like, "Hey, do you play guitar?" And he was like, probably like so annoyed with me and was like, "Please go away." But he was just like, "Yeah." And
I
was
thought
like,
I said no.
I thought I was playing it so suave too. I was like, "Cool." And then I just like walked off. And I don't think I talked to him again for like 6 months. And then he randomly became friends with someone in the same friends group. And then we just kind of knew each other all throughout high school. Tried to date a couple times in high school and it didn't work out.
It's her fault.
And and now here we are. And that's that. He wants to tell a story so bad. I broke up with him on his birthday one time.
Yeah.
He wants to tell a
Lord.
story.
We've been
Wow, you cruel thing.
Been
You.
dating 6 hours. She made me a cake. Had my.
It wasn't 6 hours. It was the day after your birthday. It was like a 24-hour
Oh, either way,
period.
she's like, "We'll have your party at my house." I'm like, "Great."
I made him
sounds
2
perfect."
heart-shaped cakes.
Yeah, so I go to her house to have the party.
It's not my proudest moment. I'm not like happy about
I
it.
don't have a lot of clean language to describe this moment.
Oh, come on. It was the day after, and it was only because we'd been such good friends, and I was just nervous about having a serious boyfriend for the
That's a
first
stupid
time.
answer.
We were young. We were like 15. Anyways.
We get friends like Carrie and James. I've been dating since they were like 6 years old or
Well,
something.
they're much more mature than I was, I guess, at that age.
Must
But
have been.
I was just too scared because of how much I loved you.
Ah,
Ooh. There's a lot of people, and there was one couple that they were a year ahead of me in school, but they always dated
Yeah.
since they were, and they are still married today.
That's awesome.
that's awesome.
And I was like, "How did y'all do it?" And they said, "I don't know. I think it was just meant to be, or just that. Hey, I don't want to go through any kind of relationship with anybody else,
So
any
much
kind
work.
of turmoil. So let's just
Yeah.
do it together. I mean, they were.
That's rare
it was
that the
I said,
guy's
ninth
like,
grade or
okay.
something.
Yeah.
And they've been married 50 years.
Jesus.
So,
Well,
So-
I think that everybody's got at least a
Look at
person, maybe more, who knows. But at least one.
oh
Someone's
yeah.
got their person.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Just don't screw it up by breaking up with them on their birthday.
Don't break
Throw it
up
in the
with
garbage.
boys on their birthdays. If any 15-year-old girls watch this and you really like somebody, don't bake them cakes and then break up with them
Yeah,
the
I don't
next
remember
day.
anything from middle school. I just remember being like, "Oh, that sucks."
The sting of young love. You heard it here.
You know?
It's real.
So you write. Oh, excuse me. I said so. It's okay. So you write songs.
Yes, sir.
Very good songs. I've heard a few.
Incredible song.
I think I've written some that are
Do you
okay.
write it?
Do I?
I write a lot of bad ones.
Funny thing is I have tried my whole life, and every time I write them, I'm like, without trying to curse, I look at them and I'm like, these are junk. Like, I hate them. And then when we started dating this time around, like a year and a half ago, I wrote 2 songs that I actually liked, and he helped me write music to them. And those are the only 2 songs I've ever written that we've taken to completion. So I owe that pretty much to him. He's pretty much the one behind that. He's the lyrical music
Are
genius.
y'all getting out playing more? I mean,
I would like to.
I saw you, when y'all played at the Hank Bartley.
I think it's hard just
Sure.
with I think it's hard with full-time jobs. I think it's hard. I would love to, just because my background is performing, and I did grow up
Yeah.
around it, so I do miss that aspect of it.
You're very photogenic too. I
It's
saw
very
it.
nice of you.
No, I mean, I saw a video that you did with your brother
Oh, really?
on Facebook, and he was in the background playing and singing the first part, and you were just sitting there before you started singing. I forgot what song it was.
I think it was
But
the Civil
you-
Wars. I've got this friend. Was that it?
I
think it
haven't
was.
seen
That
that.
was it. But you were sitting there just looking at the camera, and it was just mesmerizing.
That is very nice.
No, it's good.
And it was. I mean, it's just. And I remember seeing you. You did something on the Channel 7
In
thing,
Greenville,
too.
when I
Yeah.
lived there, yes,
YouTube
sir.
it.
That was great. Yeah. You know.
No, you did a good
I've been
job.
very
So
lucky.
that's why. And then when I heard y'all at the, the Hank Bartlett thing, I said, "Man, y'all need to play more." Same thing with Laura Beth. I was saying last
She
week. with her.
is phenomenal too.
You know,
I
but
wish
she
she
doesn't
played
really
more.
care that much about performing, and I sort of.
I totally
got
see
from
that
him.
though.
He likes to get up and jam a little bit, and
I don't want people to think it's like a cocky thing. Like I'm too good to play out. It's really for me. I could give a bunch of excuses why we don't play. I don't think it has anything to do with that job. If I want to play a show, I'd book one or something, or try to at least. But it's just right now I haven't had that drive to get out there because from the band I came from 4 years ago, we're going shows. We're playing, I guess, venue type sets where you get 45 minutes. You get a block, and you don't do covers, do all originals, and do that kind of stuff. And I haven't really pushed us once. We're still kind of building up material. I know it's really slow. We go through phases where we'll maybe push out 2 songs in a week, and then we'll go 2 months without doing anything. Just kind of run through what we're doing. Before
It's hard to do, like you say, with having
Yeah.
a day job and so much of that, and then you got so much other parts stuff you have to do in your life, and it's hard to,
Yeah.
music writing and trying to do stuff is not.
the balance is
But it's not you
Yeah.
can't say, all right, today we're going to spend 3 hours every day and do this. You just can't because
we've
it has
tried
to
stuff
come.
like that.
You might-
I think
Makes it
sometimes it
difficult.
feels like you're balancing being 2 different people because it's like the songwriter in you and the person that wants to do music for a living. Because I mean, anyone that likes to perform, I think secretly, even if it's just like a 0.01%, wants to be a musician of some kind if they're gonna spend any amount of time of their lives writing music or playing music. But like when you become an adult and you get a job and it's like you have to be one person at your job and then you feel like you have to kind of be another person in another mindset to do this, and it's really hard to like flip the switches every single day. And it's really about like finding a balance, I think. But we try to not take things too seriously, and eventually like you said, we get moments where we'll crank songs out and just have a few drinks and write or play or
Let's just
whatever.
kind of like get into that whole. I feel like once we build a solid 45 minutes, maybe that be 7 songs, 8 songs, whatever. I feel like is a comfortable amount of time when we go out there. If we get asked to play one more, we can play one more, whatever. Maybe we could go back
I
to some
think
of the.
Greenwood is starting to with the Arts Council, they're starting to have a little bit more stuff. It's hard to be outside during this time of the year.
Oh, yeah, it's
so
awful.
in the fall,
It's
it's a
brutal.
lot of, festival kind of things are neat. And the Spring Fest thing, that anything like that can get out. You can get out and really do what you need to do.
Well, it's-
That's a fun thing to do instead of
I definitely would like to see a successful open mic eventually for everybody. I think that would be a very casual setting for new musicians and active to just kind of casually play songs without having to feel like, the whole town's coming out just to see your band and the stakes are higher. That would, I don't know.
Well, the whole mindset that people get when they go to open mics, they need to, I feel like I'm going to start talking bad about people.
Don't talk bad about anyone.
I'm not trying to talk bad about people at all. It's just, I played a couple open mics outside of Greenwood, but it's the same thing anywhere you go. It's just an open mic. It's not a show. It's just having fun, debuting stuff. We played a couple in town where I've gotten guilty with me and another guy will jump on and we play too long. But it's just, I don't know. The last couple times I think they've been unsuccessful. People are like, either want it to be, can we do this and get in here and get out and whatever like that. It's just supposed to be like a big thing you view and like learn and hear stuff. Like the last one you did, Bart Hanna came out.
Yeah.
And that was a great thing because he hadn't done one before. And when he came out, he really wanted to play. And it wasn't like,
And he was the highlight of the night.
He's like,
I mean,
I'll play one. People loved him. It was great.
It became, in a good way, it became like the Bart Hanna show, and I'm glad it did because he hasn't been out in so long, and it was so good. I mean, everybody really, and that was the Connect YP Mics and Mimosas, and while the show up for like the attendees wasn't as good as we wanted. I mean, we still had probably like 30-something people, but Bart showed it out. Like, he was so good.
And since then, he's been coming over here, and we started tracking for another record. After that show, I was just like, man, you got to record some of this. This is great.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been working on a lot lately.
There's so much talent in this town.
I think a casual atmosphere like that pulls them out because the stakes are not as high. It's like you said, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be fun. Like, just come out and have fun. And I mean, obviously, if you've only been practicing for a week and you've just learned guitar, probably not the best time to be doing that. But
Yeah,
like,
you can do whatever you want.
hey, exactly. I mean, whatever. But it shouldn't be like I don't know. I just feel like the pressure shouldn't be there as much as the thought of just getting together with your friends and having fun and playing music.
So like, the atmosphere's been fun, and a lot of them we've been to, but that last one it just worked out great. That
You know, I had
somebody who
sort
wanted
of
to
thought,
play out of it.
that same thing is have one night a month where it's some location, and it doesn't have to be the same location every month, but everybody just get together. All the musicians, hey, you know, this month we're at Howard's on Thursday night or whatever, and everybody just come in and just play with each other. Jam. That's kind of like the way the Hack Bartley thing was.
Yeah.
It was just kind of people get up and then.
Saturdays.
Something like that would be great.
Saturdays would be great for that, because our Saturdays are dead around here.
Perfect.
God, our downtown, we just don't have anything
That is
going
true,
on.
which is crazy to think about because it's a Saturday night. But
That's
yeah,
like everybody's
they,
out of town night.
See, it used to be so much because we got to stop drinking at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everything closes down,
Yeah.
but.
well, I think Saturday again, like you said, is a night repeat. A lot of the local musicians that play every weekend go out of town a lot.
Yes, they're out of
So
town,
that
yeah.
would be a great time for people who don't get the chance to play as much to get together and play
Right.
because they maybe not have like a full set anyway. You know.
Well, let's work on that.
Agreed.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Let's start a committee.
Mark's got another really good idea about playing out. I think
Yeah.
you would be a good person to talk to about. He's wanting to
Mark
do-
Hyatt on your episode.
Yeah, you have to ask him about just his themed shows. Maybe like once every 4 months, pick a artist or a decade or something like that, and the whole show is just that. Like, you know,
That's a good idea.
yeah. Because I was like, let's do like a Neil Young night.
I'll
You can play Neil
definitely
Young
talk
like,
about
all night long.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, babe. Well, down in the valley, waiting on God to cut me loose and let me have my one. Down in the valley, I think it's so nice here. Terrible choosing now the work's been done. Got a bad reputation for getting wild with my choices. I love the noise to get to me. What I've been looking for in the valley, I'm yours. Oh, black man, don't you hear my voice? Don't be fighting by my ways. Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you right here next to me? Well, black man, don't you fear my wars? I have learned from my mistakes. Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you right here next to me? Well, down in the valley, I do my part, and darling, you can do what's best for you. But when we have to start, it will be loud in the valley. Just me and my baby. Time is used to waiting around on us. Separate temptations between my mind and my heart. One's about to start negotiate. Tired of living down here in the dark. hear my voice. Don't be frightened by my ways. Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you right here next to me? Well, Black Mountain, don't you feel my woes? I have learned from my mistakes. Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you right here next to me? How can you say everything has changed from the way that it was when we were kids? Oh, it is what it is. Oh, mountain, my love is yours free, straight from your head to the toes of your feet. Believe in me, as I have in you for years. I do. Oh, Black Man, don't you hear my voice? Don't be frightened by my ways. Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you right here next to me? Well, oh, Black Man, don't you feel my woes? I have learned from my mistakes. Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you? Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you? Can't you see that I'm just happy to have you right here next to me? I'll be damned, thought I'd seen everything. It's the wrong size, it don't fit. I call my mother for you. Diamonds don't even flow, they'll be no good if you should drown. Big lights, you were right to tell me. Have heart, crying, sing. I hate I left those places, but it's true. Line of blues got me hiding out in town. Well, baby wants a big shot, but baby never got it. Maybe I just waited here for you. And if you're gonna do what you've always done, baby's gonna get what baby's already got. Even when you say that it's no fun, keeping up with trends and your family and friends, I just want you to know I love you. Just take me in with all my wars. It's just so easy to say in words.
I can't whistle.